And today, here we are on one more exciting episode, and we have very inspiring guest. She's my good friend, Dr. Ketki Nirkhi Patwardhan, and little bit to talk about her. So she is an accomplished anesthetist, a dedicated teacher for medical students, and an extraordinary writer who has authored almost 19 books so far. And what is truly remarkable is how she balances her medical profession, her passion of writing, and her role as a loving mother. And while carrying forward a beautiful legacy of reading and writing from her parents to her loving daughter. So, today we will dive into her journey of balancing science and creativity and how she continues to inspire others with her words and her work. So, welcome you, Dr. Ketki. We are so
Thank you so much,
happy.
Neil. Thank you so much.
Yes, so we are so happy to have you here on our Good Vibes Only podcast. And definitely, we would like to know so many things because your journey is really inspiring. And I know you as my beloved friend, but I would like all of our audience to know your journey and get that inspiration.
Sure.
So, yes, so
I'm very happy and honored to be on your podcast.
thank you so much. So let's start. So we'll just start about, I mean, maybe from the beginning, that you are practicing as anesthetist. You
Yeah.
are attached to a medical college, Rajiv Gandhi Medical College, Thane, and since long time you are teaching also medical students. And of course, you are like, wonderful writer. So how did your journey as writer begin alongside of your medical career?
So actually, it is not a writing journey alongside medical career, to be honest. My
Okay.
writing journey started way back when I was a child, 7 or 8 years old.
Wow.
So
Oh,
I have
wow.
been reading and writing from a very young age. So
Mm-hmm.
medical career came much later. So I was a writer from a long, long time.
Long, long
And
time.
basically, the environment in my home was very conducive for me to become a writer. So
Yeah.
my parents encouraged me to read a lot, and a person who reads a lot definitely has a good vocabulary, and
Yes.
the person can write. So
Yes.
my
Yes.
parents encouraged me. I used to write Marathi poems. They used
Wow.
to encourage me in their own way. So when I
Hmm.
was 7 year old, they helped me publish my very very childish poem in Sakal newspaper. But it was a very big
Wow. But the
honor for
best
me,
one, yes.
and so they helped me. They used to take me to Akashvani radio station for a poem reading and all small things which motivated me to keep writing. So I used to
Mm-hmm.
write Marathi and English poems initially, and then slowly I
Mm-hmm.
shifted to writing stories. So basically, writing began before medical
Before
career
the medical.
started.
Then along the side, you chose medical as your
Yeah, yes,
career. That is, I think, a true way. But
right, right,
yes, yes. But I think that is really true. I think, as you mentioned this rightly, that it is, I think, much, much influenced by your parents and the environment around.
right,
So yeah, so I think that is really good thing because your environment influences your personality a lot, and that is
right,
the biggest advantage that we can consider. That I mean, we can see that you have really got it. And now I think as we are parents, this is our duty that similar environment we can give, and I can see that you are also giving the same environment to your daughter, and she is also taking up this passion of reading and
right.
writing.
Yes,
Yes.
she reads voraciously and she writes too. Of course,
Yeah.
she is stuck in studies, but still she
Yes.
finds way
Yes.
her time to read as well as write, and
Yes.
that is something I encourage her to do.
True, true. And it shapes your personality a lot because we keep on
Definitely,
getting so many insights, and different authors will have their different ways of describing things, and that
right.
influences our mind, and especially I think at a right age, because that is a
Yes,
very early developmental age where we are getting right thoughts in our mind, I guess.
there is a famous line by one author,
Mm-hmm.
George Martin. So
Mm-hmm.
he says, "A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies, and
Oh,
someone who doesn't read lives only one life."
true.
So in this one life, if you want to live 1,000 lives, you should be a good reader. So
Yes.
once we
Yes.
start reading, we get transformed into the life of the protagonist of that story,
Yeah.
and thus it is a break from our routine life, and it
Yes.
is like one more life lived. So
Yeah.
that line, that phrase has stayed with me always,
True,
and
true.
it is
And
very
thank
true.
you for sharing us, because even I came to know it for first time, but very true. I can resonate with that. And thank you for sharing with our audience, so that whoever is watching this right now or maybe later, they will get this inspiration that, you will get that experience of thousand lives before you
Right.
die. So that's such a wonderful thing, wonderful thought. And definitely taking our discussion forward, I would like to then ask you, as you mentioned ki, okay, writing started well before you chose your medical career, but as you know, like medicine is so much demanding from the beginning with respect to the studies, with respect to your time and everything. And obviously you have already written 19 books and many more to come. So how do you manage this balance between these two different worlds, because these are actually two different worlds. I mean the vigorous medicine, and that it's like obviously we need to give that much time and meticulous our attention, and at the same time the creativity of writing. So how do you balance that?
So, like you said, medicine is demanding. So, once my,
Mm.
I reached maybe eighth, ninth standard, obviously reading and writing fell on the back seat. And I
Yeah.
had to concentrate on my studies because for going into medicine and studying medicine, you need to dedicate tireless days and nights, as you very well
Yes.
know. So that was the period when I had to actually take a break from all of this. But
Hmm.
once I was done with my MD and I started finding some time, that is the time when I started reading again, and eventually I started writing again.
Hmm.
But I would like to mention that it is not something I manage.
Hmm.
Rather, that is something that helps me manage everything else. So
Wow.
writing is a passion, and
Hmm.
it gives me, break from the routine, a went out from the routine life, a
Hmm.
different, what you say, a different experience when I'm doing that thing, which helps me de-stress, rewind, relax. And so I seek it. So it is not something that I try to balance.
Yes.
So to maintain my own balance, I need to do it. So it is
True.
that way. And if you talk about time, like I tell everyone, you will never find me writing on a or writing on a sitting at a table and writing on a laptop, because you don't get that sort of luxury in your VC professional life. But whenever I get time and whenever I basically get the flow of ideas, I jot it down. And
Hmm.
then later on, I bring it together. Editing, proofreading can be done at a later time. But
Hmm.
the basic thing is wherever I am, wherever I can, and whenever I can, I start writing. So that is how I actually write. So there is
Hmm.
no right time to just, like you
Yes.
say, you need that environment and all this.
Hmm.
I don't get that and I don't need that, because writing is something which flows. And
Yeah.
that flow, I can get it anywhere when I'm inspired at the, right time. So
Yes.
basically, I just allow it to happen whenever it comes. So whenever I
Hmm.
have the thought, so some
Hmm.
stories, I have had the idea I woke up at night and got an idea for a story, and I jotted that down, and later on I expanded the story. Expansion is easy, but
Yeah.
once sometimes the ideas, they come and go. They are like the dream you remember, and it is suddenly lost. So
Yeah.
ideas are also similar. So whenever I get an idea of a story, I write it down, jot it down, and slowly I expand. So
Hmm.
basically, I don't find time for it. Time finds me, or whatever you want to
Wow.
say. So
So
basically,
nice.
it is something I need to do to maintain the balance or homeostasis of everything.
Yes, yes. Actually, I've been true inspirational, because actually you said it very right, Ketki, that when you are doing it, it is balancing your life because you are following your passion. Because there
Right,
are so many people around us. I also see that they are just doing the work, but somehow they are so much like, I mean, nowadays they say, oh, I am so much stressed, I'm low, I am feeling burnt out. But this is such that you are following your passion, it's your liking. And then now I think it is like your ikigai also, because it is contributing also, getting you are getting money also out of it, and that is really good. But it is creating that balance, it's a very good idea, and that is, I think, a great message to viewers, that please follow your passions, do whatever
right.
you like, and then obviously you will develop skills into it and all that, and that will harmonize your life, I think, and you will be enjoy doing what you do. And that is also true, that you are like even middle of the night writing down those ideas and all that, really necessary. because then it shows that you are truly into it. I mean, that is really very commendable. And obviously this is a great thing that you are following it, and whoever says what, you are on your path. I mean, that is the main thing. So I would like to ask, like, what I mean, something, it is said that, you know, when you are into so much into story writings and all, so every story, as you were also mentioning, that that idea comes. So what inspires the theme? Like, it must be certain themes, right, for certain books, because I have also read your couple of books. And obviously I would like to just, out of curiosity, ask you that, is like medical experiences, whatever you get, anytime they influence your story writing, or maybe it is like something totally different, like how you find out these themes and usually what they, how they are.
So I will say being a doctor is an advantage to me as a writer because every patient can be a story if you have the
Yes,
right set of
yes,
mind and the
yeah,
ears to listen. So being in medical profession, I will say right from the time we were in MBBS, we are exposed to clinical postings and we see lots of patients, internship, residency, and throughout our career. So
yes,
every patient has a backstory, and if you are willing to listen to it, you get a story out of every patient. Not
yes,
that it is something to be made a fun of or used for entertainment, but
hmm,
they can inspire you because they reveal different characters, different kinds of relationships, how those relationships are fragile, and what emotions can be evoked by the different ways people react to each other. So
yes,
it is like going into the minds, going into the psychology of all these people, and everybody is good so far as everything is normal and good. But
hmm,
when there are adversities, that is when the true nature comes out, and
yes,
that shows you how every person reacts differently, and
hmm,
that shows you how different characters are made up of. So
hmm,
even in
hmm,
my stories, they are inspired by people around me, and my genre is generally suspense thrillers
hmm,
because basically I like to read such kind of stories because they are something that keep you addicted to them. They give
yes,
you a kind of adrenaline rush that maybe nothing else, or I don't know, drugs may be giving, but that is a kind of adrenaline that I crave for. So when
hmm,
I am reading, I need to read something which will keep me on the hook, keep me on the edge, and keep me guessing and double guessing till the end. And there will be a twist in the end. So that is the kind of story I enjoy, and that is the kind of stories I try to write. But when I'm writing such a plot, I give a lot of importance to the character development.
hmm,
So I want to develop the characters right from the beginning, and the characters should stay true to their nature. And
yes,
to understand each character, how each layer, because you don't understand a person immediately when you first meet them.
hmm,
So a person reveals to you layer by layer, the way
yes,
we peel onions. Not all the peels come off in the first instance. They
yes,
come slowly, slowly. So that is how the nature of the person is also revealed. And
yes,
that is how I try to reveal my characters while writing a book. So
hmm,
I will say this medical background has definitely helped me come up with characters in the story because story is not just about the plot or the theme. It is
yes,
also about the characters and how well you identify with them, because if
true,
there is a character which you think the character is not staying true to their nature, then there
hmm,
is no point. So I think the skill lies in your imagination, how you imagine a character to be, and how
yes,
you carry the character from the first chapter to the end,
hmm,
staying true to the nature.
true.
So
Yes, so these are how themes you collect, and no,
right,
that is really nice. I mean, even that is actually, I think, technicalities into it, and you are actually following, and that's why your stories, they become, very famous, and your books are like into best selling. That is, I think, because of this, because I have read too many reviews on your books, and they are like, they keep on, and I on your group also. So anyone watching us can check stories by Ketki on Facebook, and there are a lot many, comments, and I think they you keep on posting, I guess, some story parts there,
right.
and that is to have that excitement, and there are so many nice comments that people give. I really appreciate that. But
Thank you
this
so much.
was, yes, this was really nice. I think one point to take up from this is how you are developing the character, and how, I mean, they are, attached to their base values, and based on that, they will be taking action. So whatever is the mentality, accordingly they will behave, and that part you are showing it in your stories. And one also another point, I like that being in a medical profession, it is not just we can be doing that profession mechanically, and rightly you are seeing, I mean, just along with a doctor, you have that human side of it also. And that with that, when you are connecting to people, not just like a doctor patient, like human to human or soul connection, when we talk about, then we really understand the story behind every person. And rather, I have also experienced that even there is a story behind each disease as well, because
Right.
majority of the diseases are nowadays, as we know, chronic and lifestyle related. And I feel like being in the fertility I mean field, I always get that some unresolved emotions, some negative thinking patterns are always there behind, this their problems. And
Right.
we just keep on giving medications and do not get results. And but the thing is, I think when we start understanding people well, and as I think, being author, I think you have that compassionate quality in you, that so that you can connect to people, and maybe that will also help in your medical profession, that of course you are getting that help. That's a really good angle to it. So taking it forward, I would like to ask you that, as you had mentioned, that how always had that very good reading and writing environment, and you've been encouraged by your parents and grandparents, and so now the same you are instilling in your daughter. So how has this culture of reading, writing shaped you as a person as well as in your professional life? Because that is really important. And this, I think, would help whoever are in parents phase, and they can also create the similar environment for their kids, for their future generation. So how
Yeah.
you can take this
Actually, in
forward?
our times, probably it was easy because there
Hmm.
was no mobile phone. So
Yes,
to keep
true.
us entertained, that was a very good
Yes.
option to have. So
Yeah,
books
yeah.
were our resort to go to when you didn't want to study and
Hmm.
when you couldn't go out to play. So that was the only option.
Yeah.
Right now, it has become very important that we get our children to develop the habit of actually reading because
Hmm.
now they have lots of distractions.
Hmm.
From 12 or 13-year olds, you can see having mobile phones, being on
Yes.
Instagram, being on Snapchat, and exposed to a lot of nonsense which they should not be exposed to actually. So
Yes.
instead of focusing on these things, if we give them the addiction of reading, then
Hmm.
I think it will help develop their personality and
Hmm.
this period of growth, especially the period of brain growth, when they are the most receptive. That is
Hmm.
the time when good values are to be inculcated.
Hmm.
So, of course, I write fiction, I read a lot of fiction, but I encourage my daughter to read non-fiction also along with it. Try to
Hmm.
read some biographies or
Yes.
try to read some books which, describe the history of our country or the cultures and traditions in our country. So, some
Hmm.
baseline understanding of something which is not taught in the schools. So,
Yes.
if she develops interest in each and every such aspect of, our culture, our religions, our traditions, then
Yes.
probably she will have a better understanding of everything that goes around us.
Hmm.
So I
Yes.
think right now for parenting, it is very important that we keep children away from these smartphones and devices as
Yes.
far as possible. And we cannot just scold them and not allow them to do something. We have to give them an alternative. And I
Yes.
think books are the best alternative. And nowadays there is a lot of debate on whether audiobooks are actually books, whether
Hmm.
Kindle is as good as
Yeah.
hard
Hmm.
copy. Hard copy, you
Hmm.
open
Hmm.
pages and sniff and all that. But ultimately, books are books. Reading is reading. Even if you listen to an audiobook, it is still reading. So
Hmm.
basically, the words reaching your brain is what counts. So
Yes.
if you ask me, I simultaneously listen to audiobooks. I also read on my Kindle. I
Hmm.
also watch series or something, and I also write. So all
Hmm.
this is going on simultaneously, and
Hmm.
these are four different stories going on in my head because of all of this. So I
Yes.
encourage my daughter to listen to stories also, read on Kindle, read physical books also. So it
Hmm.
doesn't matter how that story is reaching you,
Hmm.
whether visual or audio doesn't matter. Books
Hmm.
are books and they should be read. And for that, a passion or a culture has to be developed in the home. And I
Yes.
had seen one reel, so where a small child is sitting with an iPad. The
Hmm.
mother comes and sits there, and she keeps her mobile aside and takes a book and starts reading. Father
Hmm.
does the same, and the child sees this and he follows suit. He keeps his
Okay.
iPhone and iPad and gets a book and starts reading.
Hmm.
So practice what you preach. And
Yes.
if we lay the same, if we shout at them, don't see mobile, and ourselves we are continuously, scrolling through reels, it is not effective. So for that to be effective, we also have to have books in our hands and mobiles away. So that is how
True.
probably the culture will be inculcated in this
Yes.
generation of smartphones and digital.
True. Very, very important, message, because mirroring. We have to, follow what we are teaching. Otherwise, obviously, kids will not get. And of course, you are creating that right environment. So definitely that helps. And this point is also really important. Like whichever form, but try doing it and use, I think, all the modalities. Obviously, all our senses are getting developed, and for them also for brain development, everything, whether it's audio, visual, and even reading words, probably writing, that helps.
Right.
And of course, I would like to ask, I think there is a, just a second, we'll take our discussion forward, but I guess there is a screen freeze. You're able
Yeah.
to, yeah, yeah, now you're able to hear, Ketki? Yeah. So yes, this is the interesting discussion going on, and I think Ketki will log in again. There is some problem in, I think, network, but yes, it is really important message that she is giving us. Definitely, for the parenting, it is very important that whenever we are creating that environment in our house, and we are doing following that passion, definitely our kids will be picking that up, seeing us, because mirroring is really, really basic, what I can say, basis of positive parenting. And yes, Ketki is back here, and we'll take it forward. So I would like to ask you, Ketki, that of course now another angle of it, that you are, since many years you are into medical teaching as well, because you are in the medical colleges, and obviously you are teaching so many students. So I would just like to, because obviously a teacher is not just obviously you are not just teaching about them about your medical subject, but they are seeing you as a person. So how do you bring out the creativity, compassion in your teaching? And do you really, of course you would, but I would like to know, how do you encourage your students to pursue their passion beyond medicine? So I would like to know that. I think you are on mute, Ketki. You are on mute. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it is important for our students also who are going through the same rigorous training that we have undergone many years back.
Yes. Yes.
So yes, I do encourage my students to follow their passion, whatever it is. So it may be dance, or it may be just listening to music, or it may be playing a musical instrument, or it could be just reading. So I do encourage them to follow it. And of course, we, as a department, you can say in the medical college, we try to arrange different extracurricular activities for our students,
Mm-hmm.
so that we all are stuck up in the cycle of lot of work and exhaustion and emergency duties and everything. They are continuously working as residents, so we try to have some fun activities like some outing maybe, or some dinner or lunch out. And at those times we don't have those boundaries of teacher and student. We try to engage everyone in discussions and anything, discussion about books or discussion about what they like to do, what they would want to do in future other than academics. So that
Yes.
is how we try to, because these residents usually come from faraway places. Mostly right now we have those students are from South India, so they are staying away from home. So
Hmm.
just like a home, we have to give them a conducive environment where they not just study but develop overall personality. Now
Yes.
sometimes certain things happen where they have disagreements with colleagues, or
Hmm.
some things do not happen according to their uh, thoughts. At that time we counsel them that when you come to learn anesthesia here, when you spend 3 years of your residency, you are not learning just anesthesia, you
Yes.
are learning life lessons. So whatever experiences you get, you think of them as the next life lesson that life would have given you. So you
Yeah.
have learned it right now, so you apply it in future, because
True.
not every person is going to behave the way you want to them
Hmm.
to behave.
Hmm.
So then how to react to that, and how not to
Hmm.
lose your patience or calmness. So that is something that they have to learn. So all these qualities have to be inculcated by us as teachers in our students, and
Yes.
we try to do that. Of course, these
True.
students are not like school children; they are adults. Many are married, so it takes a lot of extra efforts to, but
True.
we do.
Yes, yes, true. I mean, it's a real mentorship, because it is not just academics as we know. It is about
Right,
how you apply, how the life skills are learned, especially
right,
how the attitude towards the work and every other person, that matters a lot. And obviously,
right.
you are creating those real human beings. So that is really commendable job. And obviously, as you mentioned rightly, that you are following your passion and that balances out everything swiftly. So that can be whether it is a household, whether it is medical profession, your writing career, your motherhood. And obviously it's not that easy for everyone. So I would like to know, like, what practical tips, or mindset shifts are required for this, and so that our audience will also know it and they will try to follow the same path. So I would like to
Yeah.
know from you. Yeah.
So, practical tips I would like to give is not everyone's path is not the same. So, first,
Yes.
we should never compare ours with anyone else's. So, there are
Yes.
ups and downs in everybody's path, but they do not coincide. So, if you are going through a low point, you should not see that others are at high point because they are going to
Hmm.
be at some low point in their own life. So, look at your own and decide how to manage it on your own.
Hmm. Hmm.
Secondly, like my sister Shreya always says, a child does not need a perfect mother. It needs
Hmm.
a happy mother. And for
True.
you to be a
True.
happy mother, you have to be happy yourself.
Hmm.
Do not wait for others to make you happy.
Hmm.
You should be able to make yourself happy. Like my
True.
mother always says, don't give the remote control of your happiness in the hands of others. So that
Yes.
is something which probably I have learned a little late in life, that I cannot expect other people to keep me happy always,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
expectations always lead to disappointments. So
Hmm.
what I should learn is to how to make myself happy in the given circumstances.
Hmm.
Circumstances are not going to be according to my wish every time, but
Hmm.
within that, what positivity I can find, and how can I can make myself happy, how I can see the positive side of the things and carry forward. That is what we have to learn as we go ahead. And for these things to be inculcated, I think the passion you follow comes handy. When you
Hmm.
feel low, when you feel you need to vent out, writing is something I go to. It may be
Hmm.
music for someone, it may be something drawing or painting or coloring, anything, but something that takes your mind away from the daily mundane course of your life, or the anything that brings you out of the circle of work and getting frustrated. Whatever works for you, you have to inculcate that in your daily routine, and
Yeah.
you need not find time for that. It will find
Hmm.
you automatically as soon as you start giving some importance to it. So,
Hmm.
and then you will realize that this is what distresses you, and then automatically it will get uh, accommodated in your routine.
Yes, yes. So ultimately, you have given us happiness mantra, like how it is inside you. Do not find it outside,
Right.
and do
Absolutely.
not compare also, because
Correct.
everyone's thing is totally different. And I think it's such a short and sweet, but I mean, definitely it is. I think commitment to your own self that you will follow this.
Right.
That will take it to that level, and then obviously this becomes a very natural state that you are going into different different roles, and you are just managing well, and ultimately you will get the good outcomes, and that is how we want from the life, that happy, peaceful, blissful life. And that is also this one sentence, I really liked it. I have heard it from you before that yes, child never needs a perfect mother, because in that perfection we are losing our own self. And
Right.
when
Right.
we just focus on maintaining good relationship with our own self, definitely that happiness will, I think, uplift everyone's life around us, and that is really true. And it's a big big message that everyone should write it down, this sentence, and underline that it is very important to be happy, and do not give that remote control to anyone else. It is in your hand. Very nice, Ketki. So again, I would like to ask, like, yes, as you mentioned, that life is ups and downs, obviously. And we never want it a straight line, because ECG straight line is then done. It is over. So so you would also have maybe there would have been times in your life that people sometimes they doubt your ability, and how come you are pursuing both the careers, like medicine and writing. So but there would have been some times that we face these situations, and sometimes um, it creates that self doubt in us. So how did you stay motivated during that time also, and how did you face such situations, such challenges?
So majoritarily, again, I will say I'm blessed to have a family who has
Yes.
always encouraged me. Not
Yeah.
just my parents and sister, my husband, my daughter, my in-laws, my close relatives, friends. So everybody, even my work colleagues, everybody around me has actually been very
Wow.
encouraging to me in this matter. Nobody has ever doubted me for anything. Negative criticism is
Hmm.
always welcome because that
Hmm.
helps us to grow as a person also. But
Hmm. Hmm.
yes, there have been some times like this. And that time I always remember what my father says. He has a saying, I will, like you said, happiness mantra. This is told by him. So if you
Hmm.
like it, enjoy it. If you
Hmm.
don't like it, avoid it. If you can't avoid it, change it. And if
Okay.
you can't change it, change your attitude towards it. So I follow
Wow.
this. And I change my
Awesome.
attitude towards those who cannot help
Yeah.
me or encourage me.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so
Hmm.
this mantra has really helped me. I really decide whether I like it, okay, I will enjoy it. If I don't like
Hmm.
it, I will avoid it. It is
Hmm.
unavoidable, I will try to change it. And there are certain things which can't be changed,
Hmm.
can't be avoided, and there we have to change our own attitude.
Yes,
So
yes. Yeah, so very again meaningful. I think we have got today so many mantras that I think even I would have to listen this podcast again and write it down those mantras. Definitely very important to, lead that happy life, obviously. So I think we are almost at the end of it, but I would like to ask you the last question. And of course, we ask that to all our guests that obviously many people they struggle with because today's our thing is how your career and passion and both like so they struggle to choose between profession and passion. So what message you would like to give to maybe young doctors, mothers, anyone who want to pursue their creative calling along the side of demanding career, because you have done this very well. Now you told us many secrets, but still what is that one encouraging message you would like to give?
Okay, so this answer will be more of a practical
Yes.
answer because
Yes.
we are in India. I think this is important that you
Yes.
should always have plan A and plan B. So
True.
if I
Yes.
will tell you that if I would have been a writer only,
Hmm.
probably I would not have been able to sustain myself.
Hmm.
So obviously you have to have a career, have good education, have a good degree, something
Yes.
because you don't know whether the passion will be able to pay your bills, and that
True.
passion doesn't remain a passion if it starts paying your bills.
True.
So we should
True.
not be mixing these two together. Even if
Hmm.
my writing may earn money, may not earn money, it should
Hmm.
not turn into a business unless
True.
it is a profession for me. So for
Hmm.
me, writing is a passion, writing is a hobby, and I want it to stay the same till the end. And I
Hmm.
don't want to monetize it because I have seen certain writers whose books I
Hmm.
used to enjoy, and then these writers became very successful, million copies sold, and then I
Hmm.
have seen the way their books
Hmm.
or the
Hmm.
nature of their books or the quality of their books changing
Hmm.
because they are now having those pressure of the expectations from readers.
Hmm.
Once you are
Hmm.
the labeled the best or 100%, you can't
Hmm.
go above 100%, and then that
Yes.
pressure can break you, and that breaking can affect the kind of work or kind of writing you do.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
these authors next books have been a bit disappointing, and that is when I realized that this
Hmm.
is how it works. When something becomes a source of income, something becomes a business, it cannot
Hmm.
remain the same as it was when it was only a passion. So I
True.
think these two things should not be mixed. And hence, for the
True.
younger generation, pursue your education, pursue your studies, and maintain the passion as a side thing. If it
Yes.
earns money, good, but do not
Yes.
rely
Yes.
on it because then it will not remain a passion. And so
Do
that is
true.
my message to everyone who wants to,
True.
balance both.
Yes, yes. And I think this is practical message. And you
Yes,
are very well able to, convincingly say it because actually you live it. I see
right,
you living it. So obviously, I mean, that's really wonderful. And almost it is we can go on talking on this, but yes,
right,
there is a time limit. But thank you so much, Dr. Ketki, for being here and sharing your journey with us. And I would like to make that concluding remark that you have shown us like how passion and profession they do not need to compete, they how
right,
they can complement each other beautifully. And you are actually living example of that. You are living proof that whenever we nurture all parts of ourselves, that you are doing it even as a person, we are not just growing, but obviously we are inspiring others, that as you are doing, you are inspiring your daughter, you are inspiring people around you. Of course, as a friend, we get inspired so much from you. And obviously, to our all the listeners also, obviously this conversation, you have given that how you can follow your passion with practical tips, and at the same time how also the profession is also important. So it's nothing like either or. it is a parallel, and obviously then only it will create a fulfilling balanced life that every one of us want, and we can actually live that life practically. So thank you so much, and obviously
Thank you, Snell. I'm
yes,
really happy to be on your platform. I watched many of your podcasts, and you are really making a difference through them. And
thank
I
you.
wish you and your team all the best. Best
Thank you
luck
so much.
because you are doing really good work.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So stay connected with Good Vibes Within for more such stories that blend passion, purpose, and positivity. And we'll see you next week soon with many, many other, stories. Bye bye. See you soon. So.